favorite projects are Friendly Jolt in Slack. Type it out.
literally anything and everything. And we're going to start off, though, by reminding everybody that you need to go follow on everything, because Lord knows when I will be put into internet timeout once again. Remember, it's, the Savannah Lynn, real Savannah Lynn, or the Savvy Truth on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and YouTube, and Twitch, and all of the good things. Anyway, let's just get straight on into today's video. And I want to start off by talking about the infamous new abortion ad that makes it seem like it will now be a dystopian future for young women who want to cross state lines. If I understand this correctly?
Well, it's an ad that I think that Gavin Newsom put out.
I believe
or
so,
the,
yes.
the Democratic Party in California. And let's just watch it here, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do this.
It's kind of funny. Let me find a better.
Funny. It's more like laughable.
I think it's hilarious.
I think it's like a Saturday Night Live sketch, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay, well, yeah, here we go.
But
I'll fix it later. Try and go.
We're almost there.
we're almost there.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org.
Oh.
Campaign for Democracy Group is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Did anyone else just look at that and go, what the actual heck?
Why?
Is this really what it has come to? Okay. So basically, it's an ad for those of you who are streaming it on TikTok right now. Basically saying that women will not be allowed to cross state lines if they're pregnant because the Trump administration is going to make it illegal for pregnant, teenagers to get reproductive health to cross state lines. Why is it called reproductive health? Because you're literally getting rid of the thing that makes reproduction possible, and that's a child. That's the point of reproduction. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into this.
I don't know. I find it ridiculous that that basically this cop pulls somebody over and basically just has a pregnancy test right there.
Okay.
Like,
are you gonna give her a 16-ounce water bottle?
Yeah,
a little 32-ounce Stanley to drink.
This is not real. This is.
Oh, good Lord.
That's why that's why it's funny to me. It's just like a parody. It makes no sense.
It's a little bit more than a parody, but I think the saddest part is if you go through the comment section on the different liberal pages that have reposted this ad, people actually believe. They're like, oh my gosh, I am so scared for the day that my state decides to make this illegal. How have we come this far? Why are men always trying to make the glass ceiling taller? I'm like, but you're killing your child because you couldn't keep your legs closed.
Much.
Yeah. And you're mad that the conservatives want to protect human life.
I don't get it.
And the irony part is, one chick that I actually saw posted or reposted this video onto Instagram. I was scrolling through her feed, and literally the video that she had posted before this one was one about her talking about if we killed as many humans as we did animals every single day, humans would go extinct in less than 2 weeks.
Well,
do you not see the irony in that? I wanted to make a comment like, bro,
we use animals as food for humans, though. So we breed them in order to have them in those numbers.
I know, but the irony was she was complaining that humans will go extinct. But then the video after, she's advocating for
abortion,
women to kill their children.
Well, that's the thing. Most of these abortion people would get really, really pissed off if you killed puppies, right?
You know how much of a fine it is if you even are in possession of a bald eagle feather? Because the assumption is if you have the feather, even if you found it on the ground, the assumption is that you killed that eagle to get that feather or the talon or the claw or whatever. Because they think that you killed the eagle and they can't prove or disprove otherwise.
Even if you found an eagle feather. Okay.
If you are in possession of one, because they have to assume that you killed the eagle. That has $500 to $1 million fines on it. But for a human, it's just considered a normal Tuesday in low income communities. I don't know. That
Well, what I don't understand
doesn't
is the
seem
problem
right.
here is this advertisement, unfortunately,
People are
everyone
gonna
will
believe.
rally against and say, oh my goodness,
Lord.
this is what's going to happen. Because if you go from Texas to Colorado and they catch you in Texas, they're going to pull you over and put you in jail because you're trying to get an abortion because you're going to Colorado, which is kind of, in my opinion, a valid point. Why is it okay to go? Can you go commit murder in another state just because it's allowed?
See, I don't know. And that we get into some very sketchy gray area when it comes to arguing that. But to the women who are, so scared now because they can't leave the state to go get an abortion, we're not even arresting the people that are crossing our state borders illegally. We're not going after you. Like, we literally transport those people. All you got to do is say you're an illegal immigrant, and they'll ship you to New York, Colorado, Las Vegas right away. And then I'm sure they'll hook you up with some really nice living situations, maybe give you some smartphones, some spending cards while you're there. So, you can go kill your kid, go get a little shopping done, and then come back.
Well, is this the only argument that the left has?
Yes.
Is this the only issue that they're ever going to vote on is
Abortion?
The reason to not be held accountable for my actions as a woman, to be able to, I chose poorly, or I don't want to have, or I wanted to have sex, and therefore I knew that this was the thing that's going to happen. Like, is this the only issue that they ever?
I think so.
Like, what other issue
No,
would they ever
actually,
talk about here today?
They care about Ukraine. They care
Okay,
about
that's
sending
valid.
all of our money over there.
Yeah, we'll talk about more of that later. But like, yeah, that's a valid point.
I mean, well, how much did we just recently send them in this new spending bill that just passed like a couple of days ago? Was it 90 billion?
Yes, it was. Unfortunately.
Wow. Okay.
So
I just love spending all of my hardworking tax dollars on BS in a foreign country. Which, by the way, speaking of the war in Ukraine and Russia, I swear, every single day I see something on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok about Palestine and the Jews, the Semites, and all of that. Okay, we see videos and pictures come out of that all the freaking time. Have you seen anything like photographic videography evidence coming out of Ukraine and Russia recently?
No. Did you ever see any though, period, at all?
I don't
Ever?
know. I saw buildings blown up. I saw planes. But then, people were proving that some of that footage was from like years ago. So
Well,
I don't freaking know what to believe.
When the war started, it was what? The Ghost of Kiev, which ended up being a video game.
Yeah.
A video game.
And
everyone ran with it. Even the media ran with it. It's like, oh, this guy was such a great warrior. I remember reading an article, and I'm not even kidding on this, I swear, of a woman threw a jar of pickles at a military drone and took the drone down. And the media reported that as an actual thing. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They threw a jar of pickles at a drone?
Honestly, though, good for her. Throw that
But they
jar of
believe,
pickles.
but yeah, like, I think there might be, I've seen, there was some footage of maybe like some like tanks, some people getting shot at and stuff like that at the beginning. But now, what is it? What's going on?
I think it's a publicity stunt and money laundering. Like,
I think it's
let's
money
just
laundering.
call it what it is.
Well, I think what you're going to, I think, is this video.
Yes,
this chick,
this is what I
right?
want to talk about. This
So,
chick.
Let's go. Let's just watch this real quick.
Just roll film. Roll this video.
Ukrainian, and this is my car. I'm Ukrainian, and this is my church. I'm Ukrainian, and this is my bridge. I'm Ukrainian, and this is my gas station. I'm Ukrainian, and this is my school.
2 seconds earlier.
Well, obviously this isn't 2 seconds earlier, but the point is, this woman apparently is like an Instagram model, right?
Yes.
Like she's like a very popular, pretty attractive Instagram model.
I really don't see the appeal, but I'm a woman, I
But
guess.
tell me
Whatever.
what you said about her clothes earlier.
Okay. I actually saw this video like last night at 2 a.m. But before that, I had just seen like the first 10 seconds of that clip. And it was actually a little bit longer. They did like this whole like 2-minute video about it. But I was looking at her clothes, and this TikTok actually kind of like cuts off her feet. But it looks like she just walked out of a army surplus store and just grabbed like,
I'm Ukrainian.
yeah, look at that. Like it, like look at her shoes. She just grabbed like some army camo and said, yes, this works. I look super hot right now. Like, look at me. I'm like going to war and like my camo and my ankle socks. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that was the first thing that made me go,
Well,
And
obviously,
you know what?
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, as a military brat, I saw my dad in all kinds of military uniforms, and I saw all kinds of stuff for the 20 years that I've been alive. And to argument's sake, I guess maybe Ukraine does things differently. Maybe they do like the little ankle socks that you would wear with Converses with their military boots. Maybe they do like Gucci. What type of belt is that she's wearing? Because it's not military issue, that's for sure.
It's not a clear enough picture. I can't tell you.
And look, she changed outfits, of course. Okay.
But anyway, this woman apparently, again,
She's an Instagram model.
yeah, she's an Instagram model. She's like apparently like a
millionaire.
She might be a millionaire. She definitely makes probably hundreds of thousands with stuff like that.
Well, she's on a yacht in
she's
this
on
picture.
boats.
And then
Yeah.
and the next one, she was in front of what looked to be like a Porsche or a Mercedes or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Just saying, like,
But the thing is, like, this woman obviously, maybe, I'm not saying she's in a green screen, but she went to these places and basically as a photo op.
Barry, she pulled an AOC.
Pretty, kind of, yeah.
She basically
kind of.
went to the parking lot and went,
Yeah.
Okay. The ironic part about all of this is, though, I literally could do the exact same thing in all of the communities that have still been destroyed and are still in rubble from the 2020
From
riots.
2020, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is my school. Look, it's been freaking burned to the ground by Maldelv cocktails. This is our car dealership that is still just a black crisp in the ground. Oh, and you want to talk about your bridges? How come all of our bridges have been falling down recently? We can't even fix our own crap. Why should we send you another $90 billion? This is why I don't want to pay taxes. The freaking potholes in downtown are still crap. Good luck driving a horse trailer in there. It's like you're going to feel your teeth shaking in your head. Like,
Well, that's a
everything
city
is
issue though too. I mean,
okay, but Texas is unique in the sense that every dollar that we send out in taxes, we only get 70 cents back. And we still can't fix our own crap because then we're resending it back out.
Yeah.
My point is, we have a hard enough time like fixing just all of these very easily solvable problems in America. But we, as Americans, and for some reason our stupid country does this all the time, we have to stick our nose in every single war and we have to go fund all of them. So,
well, like the whole thing about the Ukraine thing though too is they're apparently under siege. All right. That's the what we're being told. But there's been video for the last year of just people out partying, people going to bars and restaurants and doing everything that they possibly can, basically living just a normal life.
Yeah, because Ukraine is a party country.
Well, not even that. Well,
They're
I'm just
known
saying, like,
for their nightclubs.
well, like, okay, so like this, I found this video. Like, let's look at this a little bit.
We welcome you back to CBS Mornings. As the war rages in
CBS
Ukraine and cities
Morning.
are pounded by the Russian missiles, you may be surprised to learn that the nightlife in the country, well, it's thriving.
It's alive
the
and
bars, the clubs,
well.
and the restaurants, they are all packed.
This
Charlie
was a
Daggett
year
met with
ago.
Customers and business owners to find out why the partying has not stopped in Ukraine.
A summer's evening.
We're not gonna watch the whole
Yeah,
segment.
we get
but
the idea,
the
right?
point is, like, this is Ukraine apparently being war torn and destroyed by Russia. That they need hundreds
90?
of billions of dollars from America alone. By the way, they're getting money from everywhere else.
Yeah.
They're not just getting money from America.
Well, we're certainly taking a big chunk of the check. That's
Well, that's what we
that
do
is
with
for
everything in the
sure.
world.
But
like so.
I'm so confused though. And you know what? You could argue though. Well, that part of the country isn't war torn. Like, it's the other part. Oh,
But these are military
Ukraine's
age
not
men.
that big of a country.
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
It's a couple of Texases. If something's going on in Dallas, El Paso knows about it. If something's going on in Corpus Christi, Austin knows.
Mhm.
Like, you see it. It doesn't just like
Well, if you look at
stop
these guys,
the
though,
border of
too,
your town.
These are military age men. They're apparently drafting women now.
Ooh,
Like
fun.
currently,
all
like
the
they're
more
trying
reason
to
to maybe not kill your child.
like they're
saying.
like to fight. But again, they're fighting a war that they're never going to win. I
It's
mean, Russia's
Russia.
going to take it. It is winning. It's been proven that the media is lying, and we just constantly are doing stuff. And so,
Hot take. I don't really know if Ukraine's always the good guy.
well, they're pretty they're a pretty bad country too. Just
I
like
mean,
just like Russia is too.
Ukraine is one of the largest
I'm not
sex
a simp for
trafficking
Russia.
hubs in the world. I'm definitely not pro Russia. I'm not really pro Ukraine either. All I'm saying
I'm
is,
indifferent. I just don't care. It's not my problem.
yeah, indifference about it, like whatever.
Well, it's not my problem. It shouldn't be our problem
Why is everything our problem though?
because we make it our problem because well. Again, my opinion, we make it our problem because
We're America.
we spend money. That's how we do it.
No,
We
America.
launder money and we're spending money, and that's why we make it our problem.
What was that video that I just saw on Twitter? I don't remember which congressman, man, woman it was. It was a dude. But he was basically reading off the list to Zelensky of all of the people who voted to
I don't
pass
think he was.
it.
I know, Chuck, but yeah, he gave him a list of all the people that actually
Why
voted.
does he need that information?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, on that statement here is this was Saturday, and
It
again, this is a
is
Saturday, by the way.
Oh my god.
They voted on Saturday night in the evening to where no news is really covered because the news dies on the weekends because that's just the way our cycle works because everyone goes on the weekend break.
Atlanta.
We voted for a new funding bill
Spending
for
bill.
foreign aid, which was at $96 million, I believe. And
Ooh, this makes me so bad.
the worst part about it is that a bunch of Republicans even
Voted for it.
So I guess right here is a list of the 14 that voted against it, the $95 billion package. Andy Biggs, Lauren Boebert, Matt
Stalker.
Gaetz, Paul Gosar, Taylor Greene, Massey, Chip Roy. These are the people that actually voted against it.
Fantastic. Apparently 14
They're the
people
only
have common
people in
sense.
all of
Not
Congress
spend
that
all of
are
our
not.
money.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
Okay, term limit, spending allowance. Why do they get to just spend billions of dollars? We don't have billions of dollars. Like, we in America have come up with this radical idea of spending money we literally do not have.
correct.
Oh my gosh, we have given Congress the credit card and there is no spending max on it.
Well,
Why do we do this?
Well, again, my biggest problem is this: we did a show about a month ago on the Ukraine, or the I'm sorry, not the Ukraine. I called it the Ukraine border security bill, but it's the United States border security bill. That was $118 billion for border security. But what it was only, I think it was like 21 billion that goes to our border. And
Wow.
the rest of it went to, I think it was another 60 billion for Ukraine. I think it was 20 and 40 for like Israel and like other stuff.
Lovely.
And we did a huge, really big in-depth thing on that. Ended up not going through. It didn't even it failed because it was so stupid. But the problem with this is now what they did was they took this bill, they did the exact same thing, except for they took out all the border security, our American border security money away. So from 118, they went down to 96 right now to go to foreign aid. And 60 of that goes to Ukraine. I think it's like 20 or 40 goes to Israel. And something goes to Gaza. But
what if we only gave them $1 billion to spend every year? That alone.
how about we give them nothing?
But see, they will say, oh, but the post office, the roads, so I don't know, border defense. Oh gosh, even saying that right now, I get just a lump in my throat because that's the biggest load of bull crockety I've ever heard in my life. Like, why? Just why?
Well, it's the Uniparty. Again, this is Republicans voting for it too. This is not the Republican Party, in my opinion, is just
a bunch of
Democrat light.
turds.
That's what they are.
Okay.
I hate the party. I hate
so
both
I
parties.
say everybody stops paying taxes. I don't want to fund this anymore.
Right.
And you know what? It's interesting. I've been getting a lot of TikToks recently on my For You page about how taxes is a option. Is an option? Are an option?
It's
an
not
option,
an
and you can
option.
opt out. Well, think
It's
about
not
it.
an option.
No,
It should be- it shouldn't- it should be an
I think
option.
it is because at some point in your life you did not pay taxes, and then at some point you did.
No, we didn't start paying taxes, I think, until the 40s. Income tax.
No,
I
I'm
mean.
talking about you
I'm talking about income
as a
tax.
person.
Well, everyone did. It's because they didn't have a job. They
Mm,
didn't have a
see,
job,
the
therefore I didn't pay
thing
taxes.
is-
But then I got a job, and then I started paying taxes.
Did you though?
Yeah, because I filed it every year. That's what I had
Oh,
to do.
Oh, because you had to file.
Yes.
So
'cause-
you did it.
correct.
You started filing.
Correct. Because you have to.
Do you?
That's what we were told.
You're told.
I know.
You're told that you have to file it, but do you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you do.
What do you mean?
I'm very okay.
I'm very
I am not a
confused.
taxes expert by any means. Clearly. Thank you, Barry. But from everything that I have been learning about law and about taxes,
Hold on.
It
Just to
seems-
clarify, people, this
Yes.
is her TikTok learning. So that's
actually,
where
no,
she's
this is
learning
my
this.
Google learning too. And we all know that Google would never lie to us, right? Never. And you know what? When Google and TikTok don't want you to look it up, I usually think that there's some kind of validity in it. So that is my hot take on that. But my point is, I don't know. I want to go do all the research that Trump did, because if he only managed to pay, what was it, like $70 in taxes that one time? I want to know what loopholes he's figuring out, because clearly he figured
Well,
out
he's
some kind of
charity.
legal loophole.
It's all the loophole. Yeah, it's all loop. I don't think he paid 70.
I don't know. He paid some tiny number, and everyone was getting on to him for tax evasion. And I'm like, why are we mad at him for evading taxes? I will do it too, happily.
We
Just-
shouldn't be having income tax period. We should have a can you turn that light off?
that light.
Yes, the light you just turned on.
It's been on.
Yeah, I don't want it on. But no,
I don't want to pay taxes.
well,
I don't. Want
I think we should just have a straight sales tax, and that's it. No income tax at all. We need a complete reformation, but it's never gonna
land
happen.
taxes, mortgages. That baffles me. Like, why do we have to pay yearly thousands of dollars on a house that you already paid for? What?
because
See,
they're
the
stealing
idea
it.
of, oh my gosh.
That's why.
The idea that we have to pay taxes
It's a mob.
when you buy, when you spend, when you put it into savings, when you take it out of savings, when you first purchase it, when you give it to somebody, when you inherit it from somebody else, when you give it away as an inheritance to somebody else. They want every single scratching penny that they can get from you. Why do we give it to them?
Because
Why do we?
because we're all in a daze. We're all brainwashed. We're all comfortable in our lives.
I don't want to be.
Everyone is better off today than they were 50, 20, or 100 years ago. Everybody,
we,
even
though?
homeless people, are better off than they were 100 years ago. It's a
don't-
proven in America.
pay
In America,
taxes.
by the
I
way.
don't want to pay taxes.
I agree with you, but like again, the
I don't
only
wanna-
way we do this is come together as people, but we won't do that because we're all brainwashed by the media to fight each other. We don't fight them.
It's like that Tom McDonald
Yes.
line. It's not. Wait, how does he say it? It's not me versus you. It's us versus them. It's not wrong. Wait, it's not black versus white. It's wrong versus right.
Yeah.
I love all.
But they
those
try to get
lines.
us to fight each other, so therefore we don't fight against them and we don't go against them. But again, this proves. So like, again, look at this. Look at this video or this
Mhm.
photo of this is like
They
you've
can
got to be
unify under
freaking
his
kidding me.
flag.
This photo is they're waving the Ukraine flag in all of Congress. It's ridiculous. How in the world can you go away with this in America? Like this is
Mhm.
Congress people. They were waving flags because they voted for the Ukraine funding of $60 billion.
Okay, so basically what I'm hearing is if we switch the American flag to like yellow and blue and we like have a really big sex trafficking hub, which we already have that, Dallas, you know, and we have to turn into a party country, then we can like care about our people
Our border.
or yeah, anything. Oh, wait, no, we have to get invaded by Russia first. Well, you know what? If they actually went west to east instead of east to west, they could come invade us. They'd have to go over a giant freaking ocean. But
I don't know. I feel like
I volunteer as tribute.
our country's gone. It's been gone for a while. This just solidifies it more that we're just
Doomed,
the
dead.
country is no more.
Remember
How-
what I said last week? We have to burn. We have to burn
Yeah.
everything.
I know. We,
Like with
and again,
holy
to clarify
fire,
that
not
it's a
Molotov
reset
cocktails.
on the country.
Mm.
You don't want people to actually die. You're not advocating for that. It's going to probably happen, but you don't want that to happen.
No, Darwin said survival of the fittest. It's really not. Like, do we need to have a nuclear fallout or something for people to like care about freedom and liberty again?
I hope not. I hope not.
Well, it seems like it's coming to that because more and more countries are starting to, you know, smell the gunpowder or the nuclear weapons systems. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. And you know what? I know freaking history, okay? And if you've read your history and you can see a red, blue patterns. Very basic. I know what direction we're going into right now. And also, the Book of Revelations is pretty clear. And it's been really horrifying to see all these things play out. I'm like, oh, look, another prophecy coming true. Ooh, look, another prophecy. Oh, that's chapter 3. Oh, we're just moving right along, aren't we? Just chugging right along into... We're just trending on Twitter right now, actually.
You know why?
Because they just released a TV show
Really
about the
good.
video game.
It's really good.
Yeah, all I
actually
gotta
really
say
liked it.
is Vault 68 sounds like hell.
I don't know which one's Vault 68 is.
It was the one where there were going to be 999 men and 1 woman.
Oh, yeah, that might be good.
Vault 69, on the other hand, was 999 women
Yes.
and 1 man.
Yes.
So,
Well, each
Let's
vault,
not
the
do
whole
that.
the whole premise of that story and those things is each vault was a different experiment.
mhm,
The science experiment, social experiment, and that's
for
what
the
ended up
elites
being.
do against us.
Correct, and the elites basically destroyed all the Earth by doing the nukes. But the TV series is actually really. I've never played the video games, but
Yeah,
I
same.
know about them. I just never got into them because I feel like they're really big time sinks that I just couldn't do. But the show was actually really good. I thought it was really. I recommend it. It was good. It's kind of gory, but it's good.
What if we're an experiment?
Could be.
They're just trying to see how much of our money that we don't even have they can spend. How many wars they can start, how many horrible monstrosities they can do against children and against humanity before we like call timeout or game over.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is crazy. And you know what? Instagram keeps showing me it. It's really freaking me out, and I don't not want that on my Explore
Well,
page.
it's showing
But I
it because it's something you keep looking at.
keep looking at it. I'm like,
It's
oh
an
boy,
algorithm.
I didn't need to see that. Like, I feel like I need to go like rinse my eyes out with holy water after watching these trans people. I'm like, oh, that's a dude. Oh gosh, look anywhere but there. Like, no, I do not keep looking at it. It's utterly horrifying. And there's this trend going around. It started on TikTok. It's moved its way to the Explore page, but it's basically where all these trans dudes who are cosplaying as women basically say they show the before and after pictures of when they were little. And it's supposed to be empowering, but it honestly just kind of makes me really sad because this one little boy was like 7 and like just cute as a button. And now he is a, OnlyFans woman. And I'm just like, oh. Whew. That is a
I think it's all
sexual
ridiculous.
deviance demon.
Well, back on
I've
this topic though too,
never seen one.
about what Congress did. In this bill was also a
Mhm.
TikTok ban.
That
So they
too.
basically voted on TikTok ban needs to go through the Senate. Once this passes,
Mhm.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna give them like an ultimatum for like 6 months to say you either sell it or we ban TikTok from America, which
Literally.
I don't know what that looks like.
But I've seen so many interviews with the CEO of TikTok who is just being straight up asked, can the Chinese government steal data from American users? And he's like, no, if they wanted it, they would already have it, but they can't get it through TikTok.
Well, of course,
How many
to be
times
fair,
do
they're
they
gonna
have to
say
say?
no. But here's the thing. This is the problem that I have with
They
this whole
already
situation.
have it.
The problem I have with all this situation is where's our
Ugh.
phones manufactured?
They're made in China. That's
They're
the
m-
point.
they're made
if
in
they
China.
wanted your information,
have
they
it.
have it.
There is no all the
Your little
government
SIM
contracts,
cards,
their
China.
phones, exactly. Everything's made in China. So banning this app does
This.
literally nothing. It's really ridiculous.
Made in China. This, if I look for it, made in China. Like everything around us is freaking made in China.
Yeah. If they wanted to
Like-
steal our data, they could do it at any time.
Made in China. Like, ugh.
But
And you know what? That is the one thing that liberals and patriots and conservatives and libertarians and Democrats can agree on TikTok is that we don't want TikTok gone. Like, I find myself agreeing with like the crazy extremist liberals on TikTok because I don't want TikTok on.
well, the thing is, I think the problem is that information that they can't control gets through on
Yeah.
TikTok.
You know how much
My-
stuff
m-
I've learned from TikTok? See, you
Exactly.
joke, you make fun of it, Barry. Like, she learned all this from TikTok. I would not have learned half the stuff that I've been exposed to now if it wasn't for TikTok. Yeah, I learned it from TikTok first, and then I go off on my own and do a little bit more research on it if I care that much. But TikTok has exposed so much about pop culture, about history, about politics, about news that you just otherwise wouldn't hear. Like the amount of like, honestly, this sounds kind of terrible, but murders and stabbings and monstrosities that happen all over the world that otherwise would have just been swept under the rug and covered up gets airtime on TikTok, and people can show, their outrage about it because otherwise we would never have known about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things about TikTok. I
I,
don't see honestly anything wrong with TikTok. Like I used to, kind of at the beginning, I was like, it's a Chinese communist spy software, basically. I don't think it is anymore. I have done a 180 on this.
well,
Like,
I did the same thing. I was like, I understood what they were doing and what they're trying to do. But then I did a lot more thinking of, again, everything that we have is made from China.
in China.
They can get any software that they want. Any computer that we ever buy is from China. They could always have some sort of malware in there. But
They literally make
biggest
the
thing
chip
is-
for our smart cars.
the
So
biggest thing
like,
is there's this one TikToker. He's a famous TikToker. I think his name is Jordan the Stallion.
Jordan the Stallion.
Yeah, I think it's the Stallion. But anyway, he's a really famous TikToker or big TikToker. He like he takes videos and like he comes back and he's like, I just learned this today. I can't believe this. And my theory is we're learning all these things that we all could learn from each other, and that's the thing that they don't want to. What happens when we start learning who to actually fight, and it's these people in charge. It's these elite
Well, that's
Republicans and
the point.
Democrats. Get rid of all of these morons who are just doing all this stuff for insider trading, and that's why they want to ban it because again, why aren't they banning Facebook? Why aren't they banning Instagram?
Because Zuckerberg is all in cahoots.
Well, they could also have
Of
stock.
course.
All these people could have stock in Facebook and Meta, and that's what they're trying to count on too. But
So because they can't get stock in TikTok and get some blackmail cards,
Correct.
they want it gone.
yeah,
Why do we allow these people to do this?
because we care more
Yeah.
about our own lives than the rest of the country. Like,
I understand that there's so much evil that could come out of this, like the child porn industry and the exploitation of children. Getting rid of TikTok is not going to stop that, though. It really isn't. If you can wipe an unedited picture of the Kardashians off the internet without banning apps, you can figure out how to get child porn and exploitation and the sales of organs and of human beings. We can do that without getting rid of free speech. It's not an either or kind of situation. Because I originally kind of thought that it would have to be an either or situation. I do not agree with that anymore. Because back when Trump was talking about getting rid of TikTok back in like, what was it? Fall of 2021? Fall of 2020?
sure, I don't remember.
Whenever that
Yeah,
was.
whenever he did it.
Like, I honestly stopped posting to TikTok. I was like, cool, the Chinese Communist app is going to go away. Like, oh well, so sad. But we really didn't even scratch the surface of what TikTok could be utilized for until like the past year and a half. I think people are really becoming awake to it and they're starting to see more things. And, on like Christian kind of conspiracy theory argument's sake, I'm not entirely sure we were designed to know of everything happening in the world.
Well, we weren't. Look at the Tower of Babel. That whole entire story. The reason why God separated everybody is because man
Yeah.
got too smart, and they created something to try and
I
go
don't think it
destroy
was that
God.
they were too smart.
Yes,
I think
it
it was
was.
because they were trying to reach God and they thought of
And the
themselves
reason
too
why they did
highly.
it was because man got so connected and so together that they all worked together in one group. That's why he separated the languages, according to the story. Whether it's I think it's true. I think it's actual history, personally.
Why wouldn't the
whole-
Tower of Babel be true?
Some people don't believe it is. It just so some people think it's
How do you
like this is
explain
for-
languages? That
I agree.
dialect?
Well,
I'm confused.
again, but the whole thing, that's why he separated the languages so that we would not be able to get together
Mhm.
and figure out how to kill God, if that's even a thing that we could have done. I don't know.
I don't think it
And
was because
so
of intelligence. I thought it was because they thought of themselves too highly. They thought that they could do things that they were not supposed to do.
I'm
You
pretty
know,
sure
like
there's a
talk to God, reach God, kill God,
I'm
whatever.
pretty sure I think God, I think there was a
Serious name
verse.
was.
Don't quote me on this. It's been a long time since I've studied this, but like I think there was like a verse of saying something like he was very kind of not, what do you say, shocked or surprised at how amazing mankind could basically
Hmm.
coalesce together. And again, I think it was because of intelligence. They figured out a way to somehow get to God, and he ended up having to destroy it. Like
Oh,
that
you
whole.
think that they got to God?
No, I think they were trying, because that's what Nimrod was trying to do. That was the whole thing. So
I don't believe that they actually got to God. I
no,
think
they
were
didn't get to
trying
God,
get-
but they were trying to build a tower. And the theory is, I don't believe it was an actual tower. I believe it was like
a portal.
a portal, correct?
Ooh.
And then but they got so intelligent and so smart, he was like, okay, this can't happen again. So I'm going to make everyone have different languages. So again, this whole thing with TikTok is that same exact theory.
Do you
Is
think that's what CERN is
I think,
in Geneva?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what CERN is, but I do believe.
What we talked about the other
I
day.
know, no,
about
no,
Switzerland and
I know, I understand, but I'm saying I don't know exactly what it is, but I think that it is a way to try and create some sort of interdimensional tear
in the
through
space-time
spiritual
continuum.
dimensions. Yeah, 100%.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, that could.
'Cause I
Ooh,
think-
if that really was true and that all tied together, that would be like
Well, I think-
conspiracy theory central.
Well, I think I explained this to you before. I know I definitely explained it to your brother. I think it was what I was talking was there's different dimensions that God has created, and that's the best way I can explain it. Is God was just there in dimension 1, and then he created,
he was vibing.
and then which
us.
is what we consider heaven. So
yeah.
there's dimension 1. He was
Mhm.
either there or created it, or I don't know exactly what's going on there. And then dimension 2 ended up being hell
Mhm.
after the separation of, because the angels
After the
and
fall.
wanted to leave God, so they had to
Yeah.
create another dimension separate from himself. And then he
That's
created
interesting.
dimension 3, which is earth. And for some reason, angels are able to go between hell and earth. I don't know why.
I thought it was because God
Um,
gave, or God not gave, but more like allowed Satan to have.
See, I don't think that's true.
domain.
I think the theory is Satan is like in charge of worship, and that's not true. There's
Hmm.
nowhere to say that. He said that he was just a very amazing, like good, like decent looking angel. I guess is the
Well, they
best.
said that he was the most attractive. Like, he was
Yeah, that's what I
beautiful.
meant. Yeah, most attractive. Like he was just very attractive, very very charismatic, maybe. But like,
He was
but he
literally a
ended up turning from
celestial
God.
being. Like,
Well, they all are. That's what angels
I know,
technically
but
are.
Lucifer was like the one.
That's not true.
Like, he was the angel.
He was
who
probably. I
is
think he might have been
called-
like a
he was-
Michael or a Gabriel, like an archangel. Which I think there's different hierarchies of angels.
Yeah, he wasn't like
Yeah.
God's right hand angel.
Correct.
He was like one of the top dudes.
But he wanted to make it all about himself so that he can glorify God. But that's why.
Crazy.
But he said no. But anyway, so they put him in different dimensions. But I think that CERN
Hmm.
and all these, I think that aliens, I think that portals that you see
Are
and weird
angels?
rifts are actually angels crossing into so anything that's like a gray alien that you've heard of, or abductions. So here's another thing that's abductions with me too is
Mhm.
I
Where?
believe the reason why the flood mainly happened was, and this is real conspiracy stuff, by the way.
This isn't really conspiracy. It's just biblical.
Well, it's
history.
biblical conspiracy, but I believe that the flood happened because of DNA splicing. I believe that the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, were able to splice DNA. That's why you have all these Egyptian
That's
and Greek
exactly what it
mythology.
was.
That's not exactly what it's not.
Because
what it
the
says in Bible.
red-haired giants.
Yeah, no. I'm talking like DNA, as in like that's why in the Egyptian culture you have like animal breeds, you have centaurs, you have eagle heads, you have all those things.
Oh, you're
DNA
talking like
splicing.
the Sphinx. Sphinx.
Sure,
Sphinx.
but not just that, but like all the hieroglyphs. But
Yeah.
this is the thing in Greek
Like the dog
mythology.
head creatures.
Correct, and the same thing in Greek mythology too. Is they have hybrids of animals. So I believe that they did
Mm.
gene splicing because the reason why is in Genesis 1:6. Don't quote me on the exact verse, but the one is I put
I'll look it
enmity
up.
between the seed of the woman and you because Satan's whole goal was to try to destroy the seed, to try to destroy the seed of God and destroy of Eve. So he gave them technology of gene splicing, and so the flood happened, had to negate all that and all that gene splicing, and
Gene-
DNA splicing.
Genesis 1:6 is about the let there be a dome in the midst of the waters and let it separate the waters from
Maybe
the waters
it's
of the
3
God.
something. It's like 1-3. It's enmity between. It's between. It's the first prophecy of the Bible. It's where the man steps. I will the step on the head. I don't know the exact quote, but anyway, the whole point is, I think Satan's goal was to destroy the DNA of man, so therefore Jesus could not come from man and not fulfill the prophecy and all that stuff. And so all the DNA splicing. I think that we'll get back to that again. I think
You think that we're wait? You think I thought Elon Musk, didn't they already do some successful tests of splicing humans with pigs recently?
I didn't hear about that. I know about your Neuralink, but I didn't hear about no crossbreeding stuff.
I could have sworn.
But we've been able to clone allegedly since the 90s. Actually, it's been proven since the 90s, so probably before then. Probably since like
you
the
can
60s
clone
we were
your
able to clone.
cat for 35
Yeah,
grand.
but I'm just saying we've been able to clone.
Just
So I'm
saying.
just saying like all these hybrids. Like I think is a liger an actual crossbreed? I don't remember if it's actual crossbreed because of like a lion and a tiger. But anyway,
Yeah, National Geographic. Ah, gosh, no, I don't want to sign in. I just want to read the article.
anyway,
When those
My
just
theory-
right human cells were injected into the pig embryos, the embryos survived, and then they were put into adult pigs, which carried them fully to term.
Sure.
That was 2017.
Sure.
And they just said that,
and that's only what they told you.
yeah.
Just think about the things that they haven't told you. So
I
my
don't
point,
think I want to know.
my point being,
if I'm being
is
honest.
I think man gets so intelligent when they work together, and when they're able to work together, that anything is possible. So therefore, I think that's that the government knows that, and this is a different form of this. The government
Yeah.
knows that, and they're trying to ban TikTok, ban everything from us coalescing together,
You're telling me?
and so.
This goes along the lines of like all the things that I have ever learned on TikTok. I have seen so many super cool interviews that just go from everything from like military secret operations to like government coups to cover up operations, like everything. And this one that I watched a couple weeks ago was about this Marine who was stationed like over like by Russia. Now this happened like pre-2020.
Mhm.
So this was like, I think he was saying it was like 2018, 2019 when this happened. But basically, they were in this little like town and they were stationed there and they didn't know why. And he gets told with his guys by his superiors one day that they have to transport like this cargo and they have to take it to this incinerary. Incinerary? The thing that is filled with fire. That's it.
Incinerate. Yeah, incinerate.
Incinerator. That's the word. And so they basically
Thing that's
load this
filled with
thing
fire.
into this giant plane, and it's this pallet. And he was talking about how like military pallets aren't like the normal pallets that we see that are like, 2-3 feet by 3 feet. These pallets are like 16 by 16, like they're freaking huge. And he said that what they loaded onto this one pallet was this man that was huge.
Mhm.
And he was like curled up in a fetal position
You're talking like a giant.
yeah.
Mhm.
Basically, it was a giant. And he said that it was a 16 by 16 pallet. And they weren't supposed to look at it, but they basically uncovered it because it smelled of rotting flesh.
Yeah.
And so when those guys uncovered it and they saw this giant basically laying on this pallet, they asked their superiors, they were like, what the heck is this? And they basically said that he was a super tall guy who was considered a god by the villagers in the surrounding area. And they would basically give sacrifices to this, just quote unquote tall person, not a giant. It was just a tall person, obviously. And it died. And so, in order to not cause like chaos, because their, god had died, the military was going to dispose of it. And they weren't allowed to talk about it.
Well,
Basically, they were just supposed to let it go.
well,
And
the
that guy
understanding-
was like, I'm pretty sure this was a giant, like from Bible days, because he was curled up in a fetal position and he filled this entire 16 by 16 pallet.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, too, is the Smithsonian's has a lot of cover up of like the
Mhm.
giants that they have
Yeah.
found, and actual giants. And I'm talking like 30, 60 feet giants.
They did that back in the
Um,
70s.
Like what Lovelock is a big one. Lovelock, Nevada giants that they found in the caves there. But there's a lot of them that they've covered up and gotten rid of because they don't want to, tell us what's truth. And so,
Wait, what year was that? Smithsonian. Smithsonian. We're totally getting off tangent
We're
here,
so
but
far off topic. We are in conspiracy mode right now, but
it's not a conspiracy theory though. Because
no, I didn't say theory. I said conspiracy mode because it is conspiracy mode. Because I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I do believe in conspiracies, and I do believe in cover-ups.
yes,
I'm a firm believer in
absolutely.
that. But there are things as conspiracy theories, but
Okay,
I don't put water to those usually. And so
but this one is true. And the Smithsonian, we went to the Smithsonian all the time growing up. Like my brother, my family, we know the ins
I've
and
always
outs
wanted
of
to
that
go.
place. We would go
thought
literally
it'd be
every
really cool.
Saturday for like
Yeah.
7 years of my life. I was there all the freaking
I thought it'd be
time.
really cool to go.
But the Smithsonian and the early 1900s slash late, they basically said to all of the archaeologists and museums around the world that they were going to put together the world's largest display of giant bones to make this really cool like section of the museum essentially dedicated to just
Yeah.
this. And they basically told everybody to send them anything that they found. And they would get credited and they would get a plaque on there, but it was going to be like the ultimate collaboration. They like collected all of them. And then like when it got to the 21st century,
Mhm.
they were like, what bones?
Yeah.
Where? I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Huh? You sent us what? Like everything just disappeared and no one said a thing about it. And basically everybody who sent them anything was kind of screwed over and labeled as, crazy or just written off. And they basically got their credentials taken away because they lied about sending the Smithsonian stuff. Like, you can't do that as an archaeologist. What is wrong with you? And they're
Yeah.
like, but we sent them artifacts. What are you talking about?
Well, a lot of the stuff with like the dinosaur bones too. Like apparently, like I read a
Mhm.
couple years ago, somebody found a dinosaur bone, but there was still blood inside.
Yep.
So it kind of, but then they got
That
then that
not
bone
matched
ended
millions
up
of
getting
years.
magically
Disappeared.
disappeared. Correct.
Got lost.
But yeah, like so, but the claim is before they can study it. So I mean, if there's dinosaur bones, and that puts a shot on the 65 million years. I mean,
Mhm.
that's not possible. It's just not possible. And so
I don't know. I'm still on the train
Uh,
that carbon dating is not that
I don't believe carbon dating is
accurate.
very accurate at all either.
No, it's not. They've
So,
proven that time and time again that it's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
not a useful
Yeah. Okay,
way
well-
of measuring time.
Anyway,
But I digress.
let's get back on some sort of like political topic here,
Fine.
um,
Politics.
because we're just kind of going in circles right now. So,
That was not a circle. That was a fascinating rabbit hole. A
Yeah.
rabbit hole I will happily
well,
go
we can
down
definitely
again.
go into it again, but
Absolutely.
I do want to talk about this because it's
The
important.
colleges.
I want to talk about
We watched the dancing.
all this garbage, Hamas protests everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with
Yep.
you being critical of Israel and how they're handling their war. I'm also okay with you being very critical of I'm okay. I'm not okay with you defending Hamas.
You're not saying that to me though, right? You're saying that to
I'm saying that in general. That's my
because
personal.
I've never once
No,
defended
no, no,
Hamas.
no,
We didn't
no,
have
no.
a conversation,
again,
Barry.
Again, we're talking live under the people here.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm just saying. Like that's my personal opinion is
Mhm.
you can say Israel's doing the bad thing. You would say America's doing a bad thing. But when you're supporting actual terrorists, that's the freaking problem. But
Ooh,
like
terrorists that post on their Twitter about how they will start raping and murdering women in the
correct.
streets,
And
if
it's
you
in
do
their
not do
charter
what they
to
say.
actually kill them. And so, but anyway,
Uh-huh.
so all these, what do you say? In my opinion, uneducated, brainwashed college students have been protesting the last couple days in colleges.
All across America.
And so, but this is a funny one because
Why?
all these tents that are here are
Are they
all
all
the same
matching?
color.
It's
So,
like
did
they
they
all,
all go to
did a little
Walmart bef-
field trip to Walmart.
Either they went to Walmart
Yeah.
or somebody provided all these tents to them. Who's spending all this money? Now, granted, you go to Walmart, a tent is $50. I understand,
Mhm.
and that's a valid thing. But
Yeah.
the whole this tweet actually here is to imply that somebody's paying for this,
I mean, I would say so.
which I agree because we actually know that for a fact. A lot of people were paying for protests and BLM rallies and everything like that. So that's a possibility. But
Totally.
let's give them an out. They could have all gone to Walmart or whatever. and
Field
bought these.
trip to
Sure.
Walmart.
And they all have same tents. Okay. But it's these protests of just
There was like one tent in the back corner.
they're
That was a different
it's
color.
just protest of all these people. It's like
the veil.
anti-Semitism. It's actually anti-Semitism because they're like a bunch of people actually like
Barry, anti-Semitism doesn't exist. Stop
Well-
it. Free Palestine.
Well, like I just don't understand how
Free Palestine.
people are actually like okay with.
I just really want
With-
you to play the video.
Okay, so this is funny. This is a video that I just saw this
I
morning.
need a good laugh right now.
This is I don't remember where it is. It's I don't know which one it is.
Columbia.
Is it Columbia?
Columbia University.
So yeah, they're all doing stand-ins. So this is protesting for
That is
Palestine.
protesting for Gen Z millennials.
They're doing a lot here. What?
I think this might be slightly cultural appropriating.
They might be. People of
Just a
color.
little bit. I think
But what
they're
are they-
cultural appropriating.
how is
What
this-
this?
How is this
don't know.
protesting for Hamas?
And why are they wearing masks out in a park?
I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand. Like, obviously, it means that they're bored and they have nothing else to do. That's.
I want to know how long it took them to choreograph that. Like, all
I
right,
hope not
guys,
long.
come on, Janine, let's go, Heather. All right, listen up. This is what we're gonna do for our little pro-Palestine dance. We're gonna get so many likes and clicks. Free Palestine, and don't forget to wear your Israeli "We Hate Them" pins, and then your Free Palestine T-shirts, and then of course you cannot forget your. What accent am I doing now? That got
I have
weird
no
fast.
idea.
Don't forget to wear
You're
your
trying
little.
to do some sort of.
I don't know what accent I'm doing.
Yeah.
Don't forget to wear your Middle Eastern do-rag. Like,
Well, so this is my
was
point. Is
that?
this gentleman is a professor? Okay. And
them darn Jewish professors always trying to get jobs in university.
Wait. Everybody, my card has been deactivated.
they deactivated his card so he can't get into the
This is Gerald
campus.
Lewis. They were in the meeting where I asked them
Wow.
if Hamas is a terror organization, and they couldn't say that it is a terrorist organization. Why? I'm a professor. Why can I?
So this was Columbia. So basically, this is a professor, someone who works for the school and teaches class. I don't know what it
I
is,
hope he sues.
but well,
I hope he
They're
gets
basically
every
defending
dang penny
Hamas.
out of them.
the school themselves is defending Hamas
Because
as
they're
terrorist
too
organization.
afraid that their little free thinker individuals, little non-binary zims or theirs, little students, don't burn the free ground.
I
That's
just
the
don't
only thing they're
understand.
trying to make sure.
I couldn't
Doesn't
find a
happen.
video, but there was another video of them like basically blocking a Jewish student, I think who he had a Star of David on, and they were all chanting in unison, basically not allowing him to walk past the courtyard.
I want to say I saw
Of the
that video,
school.
but I've seen so many videos
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I'm just saying like stuff like that. Like what are we doing?
Uh-uh.
Okay, let's say they support Hamas for valid reasons. Whatever the reasons are, I don't really care. I don't
I
think
didn't
they're
know
valid
there was a
reasons.
valid reason
I'm
for
not
rape
saying
and murder.
again. I'm giving them out here. This is a hypothetical.
I don't want to.
What do they think they can accomplish?
I don't know.
We aren't Israel. We're America. Columbia University is a school in America. What are they gonna do?
I don't know.
You can't like
Do they have a conscience?
who? What do you mean?
These people, these students.
Well, I don't think they do.
Oh yeah,
I
like
think they
very.
do. But you understand my point though? Like, what
really
are they?
don't.
What
I
are they
don't.
trying? What are they
I don't
trying?
understand any of this.
Well, my point though is like I don't understand what they're trying to do. So what if they get a win that Columbia is like, oh, we back you? How is that going to stop Israel doing from what they're doing?
Okay,
How is that going to stop Hamas doing from what they're doing?
I don't.
They're not in
know,
our country.
But also,
We have no jurisdiction over them at all.
except the jurisdiction over the money that we give them. But okay, these college students are mobbing Jewish students, yelling and screaming in their faces, attacking them, locking them out of school, brutally harassing them, and even going as far as sending some of them to the hospital. Again, I will ask, do these people have a conscience? Because I will tell you, Barry, I could think of like 3 different times in my life where I didn't like say something to somebody. Like, okay, one example is I was on a cruise and there was this boy who was on the stairs and I think he was crying and I didn't ask him if he was okay and I didn't check on him.
Mhm.
I still think about that to this day of I really wish I would have talked to that boy and seen if that boy was okay. How do these people go to sleep at night knowing that they brutally attacked men and women for being Jewish?
Well, I don't think they're brutally attacking them.
No. Some of those people have been sent to the hospital. Like, one kid went to the hospital. And even if they didn't put their hands on them, they're literally mobbing these people and screaming in their faces about how the world is better off if they're dead.
Well, they're, in my opinion, a lot of them are virtue signaling. This is the thing. This is the leftist virtue
I don't
signal.
get it though. Like, I still feel bad about things that I didn't do
Yeah,
to
but that's
people.
because.
How do these people go to bed at night
But what
knowing what they've screamed and
But
yelled
in
and
your
posted
argument,
online?
though, in your argument, what it was that was what I think was maybe God was pushing on your heart. Hey, this person maybe needs somebody. Maybe it was on your heart that he was saying, could you say something to him, and you just didn't follow it because maybe you were too nervous, maybe you're too scared, maybe you're too busy. It doesn't matter what it was. But and then that's why it's still on your heart now, because that happens to a lot of people. Is, man, I should have said something because I feel like
Yeah, it
maybe
was my
just me
conscience.
saying
Holy Spirit,
hello.
well.
Yeah, it was the Holy Spirit trying to do something in you. But these people, they don't. I highly doubt they have the Holy Spirit because they're defending a terrorist organization. There's a difference between Hamas and Palestinian people, kind of. But it's a kind of for me, and that's a whole other subject we don't need to get
That's a
into
gray
right now.
area, Barry.
That's what I mean. It's a kind of thingy, but
The whole point though is, do you not feel any kind of guilt? Like, okay, I have read some of the most vile things coming from the people who have Free Palestine in their bio.
Mhm.
Like, and you know what? The Bible says that all sin is equal. So saying something cruel on social media, lying, is the exact same as homicide and murder and genocide. I literally would feel horrible if I ever did a fraction of what these people are doing. Like, okay, it doesn't matter if the law says it's okay, and if these police officers are allowing it to happen, and these universities aren't expelling these students. Has this country just lost its mind?
Well, look at what's going on. Yeah, it has. Our country's upside down. I think the Marxist takeover has done very good in the last 50 years. I mean, these protesters are all part of it. That's it's part of what Marxism is, destroy the country from
But they
within.
call us fascists.
Yeah, correct. That's the Marxist tactic. That's the tactic of Marxism, is to accuse your enemy of what it is that you actually do.
Yeah.
Because that's what,
Like, I never
because
read a
it's
book.
the what do you say? The appearance, like the narrative is
appearance
more
of looking moral.
is usually the narrative is the number one thing. And so, but I think things are breaking. Look at TikTok. Look at Gen Z. I think Gen Z is swinging very hard, right?
Why do you think that is? I think
because
it's TikTok.
because none of them have a future. They're never going to buy a home. They're never going to be able to do anything. They have to work 40 hours a week, which suck it up. You got to work 40 hours a week. That's the way the world works today. All right.
If you're a man.
Well, women too now. That's
No,
the way
I
we've
don't want
done
to
it.
be in the workforce. I will be
I'm not-
making you a sandwich and
I
be at
agree,
home.
but I'm just saying,
Don't mind me.
Gen Z is waking up to going, holy crap, I'm never going to be able to get ahead. Millennials are that
Yeah,
too.
especially
I'm
if
the
you can't afford to
same way. It
literally buy a
sucks.
house.
Yeah, and
or rent an
it sucks. We're all going to be hitting it harder and harder. And so, but
We just moved in my friend into his first apartment, and
Mhm.
like, good lord, it is expensive to adult these days. What the heck? How do we expect any of these kids to ever just like go out in the world and survive beyond their parents' basement? Because the world that we've created is so freaking expensive. Like, if you told a middle-class person, and let's pick a really far time off, the Renaissance period, that they had to pay for water, they would laugh in our face.
well,
We have to pay for everything. Like, you know that movie,
you're
The
paying for the
Lorax?
service.
Yeah, But no, Barry, because it's illegal in a lot of places to collect rainwater. And you will get
Oh,
fined
I agree. It's
thousands
stupid.
of dollars to do that. You know the movie The Lorax? Where that
Yeah.
guy O'Hare makes air and you have to pay for it? Would it be that crazy to say that we're heading in that direction?
Yeah, but you're not paying. Well, you're kind of paying for the water, but you're paying for the service of
No,
the
I'm talking about we're
purification of the
ruining our
water.
planet. Eventually, I feel like, okay, we're actually running out of sand, interestingly enough. We're in a sand shortage.
I don't
And
think that's true.
it is interestingly
No.
true. And I was wondering why, and then listening to some people talk about what sand is used for in weapons and
People say that
nuclear.
we're overcrowded, and we're not. The Earth
Yeah.
is not overcrowded. What's
I mean-
overcrowded are cities, because everyone goes to the city, and they're overcrowded in the city of New
Yeah,
York and
well-
LA. They're not overcrowded in the planet. The planet is so big, it's ridiculous.
But actually living outside of your precious cities require people to actually go get their hands dirty. You can't go live in the middle of rural Montana unless you at the very least know how to use a Bowie knife and maybe a rifle. And let me just tell you, the people do not know how to do that. So Darwin's survival of the fittest shall be enacted, and when fallout does happen, let's hope that we don't kill off the deer population, because we're gonna need some form of meat to survive, especially if AOC keeps getting rid of the cow farts.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere though.
Mm.
She's
Oh, well.
backtracked on our stuff anyway.
I think that's enough conspiracies and political talks for the day, because I'm already getting a headache. Good Lord. Anyway, for those of you guys who are just tuning in, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all of those things on all social media platforms: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, all of the things. And if you liked this, like hearing Barry and I talk about all this stuff on the BS podcast, don't forget to tune in Thursday. We're going to be trying to make this a really consistent thing going live at 1 p.m. Central Time. Remember that, 1 p.m. Central Time. Tune in and then just go about your day and listen to us talk. Anyway, that is all for now. See everybody Thursday. Bye.